So now that we have our model configured and our design space created, the next thing we'll do is change any of the materials we need for the parts that you have in your optimization. You can do that by clicking on the Materials tool at the top. This will give you a list of materials for each part. You can change them from this location. We have a certain set of materials that comes alongside Inspire. You can actually see those from within the materials library. You can also change or add your own material by going to My Materials, clicking the plus, changing the name here to a new material, and then changing the values. And then you could also apply those once again to your parts. So I could go here to my material and I could use that. The next thing we're going to do here is apply supports and forces. So we need to support the model and also apply the loads that are going to be subjected to this bracket. So I'm going to select on this support, and you'll see that as we pass over different parts of the geometry, you'll see that we can create edge supports or face supports here. We can also hold the shift key down and you'll see it'll change to a point support, and we can apply that as well. But in this case, I'm just going to apply some face supports. Now, by default, we lock all of the ability for this face to move at all. Okay, in any direction. I can select it once and I can change that, so I can allow it to move in different directions as well. But I think for this case, I'm just going to go ahead and only allow it to lock in all directions. So we'll do the same thing here on this face. I can rotate the part around and do the same thing on the other two rail surfaces. So now what we have are the rails. They will not move in any direction, and the bracket is actually going to be rigidly attached to that rail. So it's almost as if it's one section or one piece. The next thing we'll do is apply some forces. So we're going to apply a few forces to these holes. Now we're going to create multiple load cases for this design. And each load case is just a set of forces that are grouped together that act on the model at any one certain point of time. So it's very typical to have multiple load cases for your design. So I can left click once. You'll see that we create a default force, and I can change the directions. And if I click the Z again, it'll just flip the direction. And I believe this is 17,415 for the amount of newtons that we're going to apply in the upward direction. And we can do the same thing here. And so now we have two forces acting up in the upward direction there. Now the next thing we're going to do is let's create another load case. So I can do that by just right-clicking on one of the load cases in the browser, say New Load Case, and I can say I would like all those supports to be found in that load case. I can right-click and include them, exclude them. In this case, I'll just say All Load Cases. So you see they now appear there. And then I can either go back up to the forces, or I can double-click. When we double-click, we can edit any force. We can change the value. But the other nice thing is I can go ahead and I can create a new one. So now I'm going to create a new force. I'm going to put it in that Y direction, or excuse me, the Z direction, and then I'm going to turn the rotation tool on. I'm going to select that and say 15 degrees. So what I'm looking for is a force that's going 15 degrees from the Z up. So you can see I've done that. You'll also see that that force has been placed in the load case 2. The bold indicates that it's going to be placed into that load case. I'll do the same thing here. Rotate it 15 degrees, and then I'm done with that load case. Now in this case, I think we have 5 load cases, so I'll go ahead and apply those, and then we will run the model.